Today, we're going to share a little story about a big scam and how I almost got caught. Me. Yep, me. I take great pride in the fact that I'm actually formerly a collector who used to hunt down scammers. And I almost got scammed. Anyway, here's my story. Let's hope it helps you out just a little bit. I am Linda from A Labor of Life, and hope you follow along with my story and maybe, hit the like, hit the subscribe, follow along to share the rest of my life with me. So let's get started. Back on September the 3rd, I received an email and there was nothing untoward about it. Did all the double checking. Figures were all in line with what they should be. Double checked the email, came from a company. We're all there. Everything sounded great. So before we continue any further, it was Grand Muse Pictures, and the casting director, production manager was Tim Weinstein. And yes, I did all my diligence. I checked out the company, I checked out the director, I checked out the product online, which was a Flux Visa prepaid card. Everything looked good. So I replied, heard back from them, and we went back and forth, struck up a deal. Everything seemed great. I got a final offer from them, which sounded really great. Me being so hesitant and negative about what could possibly happen, I sent the information to Kent, had him check out the company, had him check out the director, had him check out the product. Everything seemed great. I was happy, signed the contract, everything was good. Now, I'm hoping I would have caught on my own as things transpired, but I happened to see a TikTok from somebody who had almost got scammed with a similar scam with a different company. So I think these guys shut down one company and opened up another company. So was she. Anyway, again, it looked good. They sent me off to the accounting, they sent me off to legal, took care of everything I needed to take care of, and then sat back. And then I got the first check. So all this had to do with, I was supposed to use prepaid Visa card, make a couple purchases, and share my experiences. Very similar to other sponsor reels that I've done. So it didn't really seem unusual. They were sending it. They said they were sending the check. What I almost missed was they said that they were sending the check, and then as soon as I received it, I was to deposit the check and then send them front and back of the check verification that it was deposited. That one kind of slipped by me for a minute. Didn't actually sink in. So I started wondering, well, why would I need to deposit the check online and then send them a verification of the front and the back of the check that was deposited? Because wouldn't they already have proof of that? So I think the key was they were trying to get my bank information with my signature. Anyway, I played it through. The company kept contacting me about depositing the check. I said I wasn't home, so I delayed a little bit. And then we got the check and we took it to the bank. Yes, they actually sent it. It was a money order, supposedly. Looked pretty real, went online, verified. Again, I double checked that it was Scotiabank. That Scotiabank actually did exist. It looked like all the money orders you would see online, so that wouldn't have raised any flags. What actually did raise the flag with me was they sent the check twice, and both checks came through FedEx, and both of them had a different address on the return email or the return envelope. And that normally wouldn't have done too much for me, except what it actually did was the address was in California. The bank is in Toronto. Kind of how the hell would somebody get a money order in Toronto for Scotiabank, right? So anyway, we took the checks to the bank, and the bank verified no checks of theirs. So yeah, I don't know how it would have actually played out, other than if I had deposited the check and then sent them a picture of the check with my banking. Would that have given them access to my bank account? Quite possibly. So I'm not sure of the details of the scam as into what they would have done, other than I think they could have possibly tried to take my money, or had my signature, had my banking information, and written some checks. Who knows? Anyway, all I know is Grand Muse Pictures did exist when I was doing all the checking. It did exist as a legit company. It had all the people, it had all the information, which was kind of scary. Tim Weinstein, the name that they were using, again, existed as a director. So it made sense. They used not a Gmail account, which I always check for. They had a LinkedIn account. They set it up for the accountant. They set it up for the lawyer, supposedly, all probably the same person or group of people. But anyway, bottom line is that is how creative and inventive they're getting. So if you are a content creator, whether you do UGC, whether you do sponsored, however you do it, just be careful. As I said, it's all within the realm. Some people might have looked and said, ooh, that's a lot of money for, a 90-second clip. But no, it's definitely, it was actually very close to another sponsored reel I had been in the running for that I lost out on. So maybe I was a little less intuitive. But again, I had Kent check. I checked. Interestingly enough, I did reach out because they were emailing me why I hadn't sent the check or deposited the check. They were emailing when I was out of town, asking when I was going to be back and when I would deposit the check. And then the guy started texting, just saying, just wanted to make sure. When they sent the two checks with the two different addresses, I reached out and he said, no, because I was away, the first money order was canceled, and I was to rip that one up and only use the second one. Again, they pretty much had an answer for everything, but the little spidey sense was tingling, probably because I had seen Chensi's video online where she had gotten nailed by a similar company. And interestingly enough, Grand Muse Pictures was supposed to be in Vancouver, but the guy had a Montreal cell phone. So that sent up just a few little flags. But anyway, all this just to tell you, be very, very cautious. Be very, very careful. They are creating fake accounts. They're creating fake websites. It's insane how far they're going to go now to try to get, I don't know how much money they thought that they would have gotten, but anyway, they would have gotten something. And, I was doing my due diligence. All this to say, they will get kind of more casual. Companies have gotten more casual in texting and emailing when I've been working on sponsored accounts. But the one thing I've never had anybody say is, we're going to send you a check and we want you to electronically deposit it, take a picture of the check front and back with your signature on it to show us that it has actually been deposited in your account. So ironically, since we've taken it to the bank and the bank started their little investigation, I haven't heard back from them. So who knows who else they're trying to get, but this is from me to you. Be careful. So that's my little story of how I almost got scammed for probably $5,000. Cheers. Anyway, if you've been contacted by them, or if you do get contacted by them, drop me a note down below and let's work through this together, and I can tell you everything that I did and everything I would recommend you do. Cheers. Thanks for watching. This is Linda from Labor of Life, and hopefully you found something of value in this little video. And hopefully I've helped at least one person not get caught. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you soon.